Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. Hello. I know I said this might not be happening or might be happening at a different time, but Sam offered to take Clarky to her thing, so I was like, sick, yeah. Then I will do my stream as per normal. Hi, guys. Welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good stream. I hope you've had a good weekend. One sec. Forwarding that to Sam. Okay. Stream's been great so far. I'm so glad. Yeah, that was very interesting. I can't scroll back far enough to see it, but apparently cam on means thanks in another language. So just for clarification, in Vietnamese. Okay. It says cam on because I've got the camera on because normally I VTube. So I've started putting that at the start of Sunday streams in the title. So sorry for any confusion that caused. Sorry for any confusion there. Was not meaning to put Vietnamese in my title. It's in the contract. Yeah, that Mushy gets the weekend off. You're correct. At least it's not something rude. So true. I would rather that it mistakenly say thanks than most anything else. So happy with that. Also, Free, you just reminded me, Free was mentioning that they went to their first car boot sale of the year. And I was like, I have never looked into whether or not there's a car boot sale near me. And there's one like 25 minutes away. So I was like, I should go do that. I should do that next weekend. Yeah, I've never been to one. It seems very similar to oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of the term now. I've been out of America for too long. It looks very similar to a thing that we do in America, but we call it something totally different. Not yard sale, no. A yard sale is like in someone's yard. Flea market, thank you. A flea market is what it reminds me of. The guy with the crystals knows who I am. I love that. That's very cute. How are you, Jaws? Never done the car boot sale thing. In Los Angeles, there's a gigantic flea market that is like, it goes on further than you can even see everything. And there's somebody selling what you're looking for. You just have to be willing to like look for long enough, you know? And some of the pictures of the car boot sales remind me of that because I gotta be honest, I was imagining a car boot sale being sort of like trunk or treat, but for adults, where it's just like, yeah, somebody books a parking lot and a few people show up with their cars and they just like have shit in them, right? It's clearly far beyond that. It's usually in a field. Yeah, the flea markets that I've been to have been in a field as well. Some stalls are nice and organized and some are more of a pile. I think that's just how it goes, right? Some people are like, look at my treasures. And it's like the the trash goblin lady from the Labyrinth who just has things on her back. And then some people show up and are like, here are my very specialized trinkets. And they show up with like 4 things. And once they sell those 4 things, they're like, goodbye. So, you know, I got a hype chest. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Misharibo, by the way, thank you so much for the gifted subs. It looks like you gave a bunch. Thank you so much. And there's a line for those 4 things. Yeah. And they insist on haggling. Somebody was asking how the animals are. They're good. We've had a couple of very beautiful sunny days, which has been great. So yesterday, remember when we were talking about the homework grid? One of the homework options was go outside and find signs of spring, like things that tell you that spring is coming or that spring is here. And in whatever way you would like to, like chronicle those things basically. So Clark decided she wanted to take samples of things and put them in a book and then write little facts about them. And I was like, that sounds great. So, yesterday we were like, today's the day, let's do it. So we went to the park and we grabbed she grabbed a daisy and like a branch that had like a bunch of little nubbins that were gonna eventually turn into leaves, you know? And she asked if she could, next time that I make something with one of our eggs, because the chickens have started laying eggs again. So I was like, oh, eggs would be a good one, right? So she wants to put like eggshells in there and I don't know, it's cute. Yeah, and I really want to show her like books where biologists do that, right? Where they like draw really intricate sketches of things they see and like, you know, label stuff and all that. I was like, she might find that really interesting. But she also she struggles with comparisons, right? And I don't want to show her a thing and have her misconstrue it as this is what you should be doing. I just want it to be an example of like how grown-ups would do the same idea, right? So in the end, I decided not to show it to her. I was like, just lay it out and do it how you think it looks nice. I think this is a great idea. I love that you came up with this idea on your own. Just do it how you would like to do it, you know? Yeah, field notebook. Yeah, it's very cute. So it's like, if she enjoys doing it, it would be fun to do that like every couple of weeks. Like just go see if we find like, you know, new flowers or new plants that we haven't seen before or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, hold on. I missed a thing. I only saw the beginning. Are eggs a seasonal thing? So if your business is in eggs, if you sell eggs, most likely in your warehouse or your giant coop or whatever it is that you're using, you will mimic summer heat and light levels so that the chickens just continue to produce. It is thought that it's better for their bodies to just let them lay eggs when they naturally want to lay eggs, which means that in the winter months, they normally don't lay as often or at all, and then start laying again once it warms up in spring and summer. But yeah, I haven't like really looked into it. I don't know if there's any evidence to say that it's bad for them to lay eggs all year, but like, I'm sure it's nice to just not lay eggs for a while. You know, if your body's like, I'm done. I'm done for a while. I'm sure that's not, the reset's probably cool. We don't have seasons here. I don't know how that works with not laying eggs. I'm not sure either. I heard you moved to a farm. How many animals do y'all have? Does somebody want to do the command? We have a command that lists it out. We currently also have 10 extra chickens, not because we're keeping them. We have 10 extra chickens because my mother-in-law works with a lady who finds foster homes for chickens or forever homes for chickens. It's how I got my chickens. And she found a home for 10 chickens, but the lady was like, last minute was like, I'm so sorry. I need another month. And so my mother-in-law was like, I'll keep them for a month. So they're separated from my chickens because we didn't know what their situation was, which wound up being good because it turns out they all have roundworm. So we were like, well, thank goodness we didn't mix them together. But now they all have to be dewormed. Poor girls. I saw Dukes was adopting bunnies. No. You know what's funny is my mom, I sent my mom the picture. I took a couple pictures with the bunny because I wanted to show Clark later and be like, oh, Peach, to put it nicely, oh, Peach found a baby bunny earlier. When what was actually happening was Peach and Gus were terrorizing a baby bunny. And so I took pictures. I sent them to my mom as well. And my mom immediately was like, are you going to keep it? I was like, no, I put it back. I put it back. No, I'm not keeping it. When my sister was like a preteen, I think, they bought bunnies. So what was the chicken coop when I was a little bit older used to be like the bunny coop, basically. It was like this huge outdoor thing with bunnies. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, the bunnies were so great because they're so soft. My rabbit escaped when I was a child. No. Oh, one of Clark's besties has rats now. And Clark was like, oh my gosh, I love them. I want rats. And I was like, yeah, rats are pretty tight. We're not going to get rats right now. Because to be honest, you do a foul job of helping with any of the other animals. So literally every time she asks for an animal now, I'm like, what did I say about the last one? What were my stipulations about the last animal? She asked for a snake before Christmas. And I said to her, I want you to learn as much as you can about snakes. If you know somebody who has snakes, I want you to spend a lot of time with the snake. Number two, I want you to start like consistently helping to take care of the other animals that we have. And so now every time there's a new animal that she's like, oh my gosh, so-and-so has a guinea pig. I want a guinea pig so bad. Can I please have a guinea pig? I'm like, what are the two things? What are the two? Have we knocked out either of these yet? I don't think so. Rats are great. They're such a fun pet. They're so smart. They're really sociable. They love a snuggle. I love rats. I highly recommend them as a pet. Downsides are that they don't live very long. They only live a couple of years. But they're lovely. They're sweet little things. I would love to get a rat. But I have an extra terrarium. Why shouldn't I get an extra reptile? Why shouldn't I keep it? One dog, one cat, and a hedgehog. Cute. Uh, mm-hmm. That's true. It's always recommended that you get 2 rats, not just one, because they get very sad. They're really, really social. Oh my gosh. A while back I told this story, but Clark was like, I want a horse. And Sam pulled a Sam and was like, should we get her a horse? And I was like, no. Like, what do you mean? What the shit does she know about horses? When has she ever ridden a horse? No. What are you talking about? It's buck wild. This is why I have to make all the rules in our house because Sam is so ready to just like go for the ride, you know? Get her a dirt bike. Hilariously, my nephew has a little dirt bike that he got for his birthday. And so he comes to the farm all the time just to ride the dirt bike around. And Clark's like, that's so cool. Man, he let her ride it a little bit, which was very sweet. She was like, so cool. And before she could be like, I want one, I was like, how about we learn to ride the bike we have, the normal ass bike that we have, because we still have not figured that one out. I feel like a part of the parent job that you don't really think about is creating the skill tree, right? Like sometimes she's looking at her skill tree and she's going, I want this skill. I want to put my points into this. And I'm like, you haven't done this one or this one yet. You're not there yet. You can't do that one yet, you know? For example, a positive version of this was when we went ice skating, and it felt like one of those situations where like there was a starting skill that split off into multiple other skills, right? So she ice skates super well, super easily. And when we were talking about it later, she was like, why was I able to do that so easy? And I was like, because you roller skate, you've been on a skateboard a bunch, you've like done all of these things that created the foundational skills necessary to crush it at ice skating, right? But there are other things that you really want to do that you don't have the foundation for yet. Yeah. What's the deal with the lonely Pringles can in the background? I believe that was a Gus. I think Gus did that. Come up with your own story. Why is that there? Gus. Yeah. Guys, you remember when I was sponsored by Pringles? That's not happening again, but it's good to reminisce. It is empty. Yeah. Roll the clip. No, our current, you know what? Gus has learned like when to and when not to come in the house. Generally, I don't think he should ever be in the house, but like he's learned that if Sherlock's around, it's a bad idea. So he pokes his head in. If he sees Sherlock or any evidence that Sherlock's nearby, he just doesn't go in. Smart cat, right? Ada is our new invader. Ada is the new puppy, my sister-in-law's dog. if Ada and Peach are hanging out, Ada will just run into our house, jump onto the couch immediately, grab one of Peach's toys, and leave. And I'm like, what happened? Before I could even be like, Ada, you gotta go. She's like, bye. I got what I wanted. See ya. Like, okay. My sister-in-law came over with like 5 toys and was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, just stealing all of your toys. It's fine. It's fine. Clark and I are doing a Moomin Valley rewatch because we never watched the final season. And she's a little Moomin pilled right now because she went as Snufkin to school, right? So we've been rewatching Moomin Valley, and we got to the point. There's a point in the show. I think it's in season 3 at some point. There's a point in the show, and I don't know if this is based off of a story in one of the books because we haven't read all of the books yet. But there's this really like out there side story that happens for like 5 episodes or something, where all of a sudden Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa are like, it's time for us to leave Moomin Valley forever. And they just pick up and go to a different island. And they're like, this is our home now forever. And so we have multiple episodes where we're not in Moomin Valley. I think it was like to introduce, the lighthouse stuff. Is the lighthouse stuff in a book? Because I hate this part of the show. It sucks. I hate this part of the show so much. Moomin Daddy committed tax fraud and needs to hide from the authorities. It's like this weird... They honestly did a good job of building up to it. There are some things about Moomin Valley, pacing-wise, that make no sense. There are episodes frequently where I'm like, those should not have gone in that order. It doesn't matter. But this was one of those things where it really, like, built up to it. Mrs. Filion comes over and is like... basically goes to Moomin Papa and is like, you're a fucking deadbeat. What kind of example are you setting for your son? You don't do anything all day. And he's like, that's not true. I'm writing my memoir, right? And he like really gets fucked up by it and is like, she's right. Well, I need to get a job. So he spends multiple episodes. There's one episode where he's like trying desperately to figure out a job for himself. And then, in the end, it's very like, we just want you to be home. We want things to be the way that they were. We think that it's fine. You like clearly did a bunch of crazy shit before we settled down. Like you can chill. It's okay. And so he builds a miniature lighthouse and he's the lighthouse keeper of the miniature lighthouse. And they're like, it's just like a funny, like nothing job. 'Cause it's a toy, but he obsesses over it. And in the end, he's like, I'm meant to be a lighthouse keeper somewhere else. So they just fuck off to a different place. And they meet other Moomin characters at this island. But, oh my God. It's not fun. Somebody's saying it is in a book. But the second to last book is The Lighthouse. Moomin Papa and the Sea, it's a masterpiece. Really? Is it fantastic? It sucks in the show. It sucks in the show. I don't like it. And we're coming up on it. They're literally leaving, I think, at the end of the episode that we're on right now. And I'm like, ugh. I don't want to do it. 3D Moomin sounds wild in this retelling. So it's my first Moomin show. I still haven't like really sat down and watched the 90s show. I've watched lots of clips from it, but it's, I'm a fairly new Moomins fan. So Moomin Valley was the most accessible thing for us to watch because it's literally on like BBC iPlayer or whatever. So come to find out now that you can watch the entire 90s show on YouTube. But it doesn't matter, okay? We watched Moomin Valley first. And it suffers from some really weird pacing issues. I think the voice actors, like the actors that they got to play all of the characters, are fantastic. Moomin Troll is voiced by Taron Egerton. Is that his name? The main character in oh my gosh. The Kingsman, thank you. In Kingsman, he's Moomin Troll. Moomin Papa is Matt Berry. There's an episode with the ghost character, and he's voiced by Richard Ayoade. Like they get so many like really good actors to play these characters. Yeah, I've said before that I can't hear Moomin Papa as anything other than Matt Berry, and it's because Matt Berry is my Moomin Papa. He's the first Moomin Papa voice I've ever heard, and so he's just Matt Berry for me. But anyways, the show has a lot of pacing issues. It's one of those shows where like sometimes at the end of an episode you're like, oh, and it's done now, right? It does a good job of having callbacks and doing like what I was just talking about, where it like sort of slowly builds to an idea. Like each episode will be like a specific issue, but everything will build towards like a big thing that winds up happening, right? There are some things that I complained about in the show as making no fucking sense, and then I read the book and was like, that literally happens in the book. It's Tove's fault. It's Tove's fault that everybody's like, the Groke, this mysterious, weird creature that no one understands, and she can't be near anybody or they'll instantly die. And then they have a full-on, like, courtroom scene where she's just there. Like, there's so many situations where I was like, this show doesn't make any sense. And then I realized that's just the story. The story sometimes doesn't make any sense, but it's so charming in book form. Because something that I think the books do so well that doesn't translate well enough into the show is that all of the main characters, aside from Moomin Papa and Moomin Mama, are meant to have like this really intense, like childlike wonder in different ways, right? And there's such a like strong element of play. Like all of them love to play in their own ways. And I don't think it comes across well enough in Moomin Valley. It's called Northern European whimsy. Yeah, in the books, there's just such an element of like, all of us were all just gonna get together and like go on a weird little adventure, you know. There's like stories where all of them, and the books always call them the kids, right? All of them just like go to the beach and just like chill, and they feel so young. And in the Moomin Valley show, I think on purpose, they're supposed to feel like young adults, right? Because Moomin Troll has so many moments of like, I'm a grown-up Moomin, right? And that element doesn't feel as strong in the books. In the books, you still aren't sure how old any of them are, but they all have so much like whimsy toward all of the decisions they make. Anyways, we're rewatching Moomin Valley, and I'm not excited about the next section, is all I'm saying. But apparently the book's great, so I feel like I should read the book, and then maybe I'll feel differently about it. Jaws, what the fuck? We're talking about the new modern Moomin Valley show. Yeah, they put out the last season, the final season, and I still haven't watched it. So we're rewatching everything with the intention of watching the last episodes. The Groke has a character arc that ends in Moomin Papa and the Sea. None of the adaptations have depicted it. Tove ties it to Moomin Troll's character development, and it's fantastic. Interesting. I'm trying to think, because the Groke shows up at the island when they all go to the new island with the lighthouse. The Groke shows up, and I'm trying to remember what. He mostly just yells at her, if I recall correctly. I really think the 3D aspect was the wrong way to go. I don't know. I guess, like, it's hard to say, isn't it? I enjoy them. I think that they're cute. But again, it's, you know, it's my first Moomin show. Do I think it has as much charm as, like, the show in a 2D animation again would have? Maybe not. But I've only seen a little, but it feels weird because I'm familiar with the 90s. Yeah. And I've been told, like I said, that every single episode of the 90s show is on YouTube, like legally, to just watch. So we've talked before about doing a Moomin Watch-a-thon on stream, which I think would be very fun. A Moomathon, yeah. Live react, yeah. And when we get to the episode where Snufkin says, "Let's go film Moomin Valley with crime," we have to stop everything and do a dance. Somebody was asking about book day. I don't think that they did like a book sale or anything at my kids' school. But they did the whole, like, you can come dressed up as a book character or you can come in your pajamas. Which again, I think is nice because there are plenty of kids. One of Clark's really good friends will do literally anything to not stand out. Like, she's very shy and she doesn't want to dress up as anything, you know? So I was like, I think it's really nice that they're like, you don't have to come dressed up as a character. You can just come in your PJs. It's fine. So yeah, Clark went as Snufkin. She said no one, they went around to all of the kids who were dressed as something to see if anybody could figure out who they were. And nobody guessed who she was. She even brought her harmonica, which I love. She was like, "Can I bring my harmonica?" I was like, "I'm fine with it. But if your teacher tells you to put it away, you will put it away." And she was like, "Got it." So apparently she busted out her harmonica and kids still didn't know who she was. And she was aghast. And then yesterday we went to the library. My kid's been really into the Junie B. Jones audiobooks. So I was like, "Clarky, this is a great opportunity to show you. We can go to the front desk and we can request a book." Because we looked in the kids section and they didn't have any Junie B. Jones books. Keep in mind, our library is very small. So I was like, that's fine. Surely there's a library around us that has a Junie B. Jones book, right? So we went to the front and we asked if they could look up this book or this series of books. And they were like, no problem. Looked it up. They do not exist in any libraries anywhere around us. Our entire county, I don't know what you would call them here, but like there are none in our entire county that have them. So the lady who was helping us was this little old lady, and she was very cute. And she was like, I've just looked on Amazon for you. I was like, okay. She was like, it turns out you can get box sets of the Junie B. Jones books for quite cheap. I was like, all right, thank you. That's good to know. We just figured we'd see if we could just get it from the library, And she was like, it doesn't look like it, dear. I was like, okay. So unfortunately, I tried to be like, look, Clark, you can get any book. You just got to go to the front and ask, and they'll ship it in from a different library. And they were like, no. No, we can't do that, actually. Nice try, though. So instead, there's a series of books that I read her at bedtime a few times. They're like called the Magic Animal books or something like that. And it's about like these two little girls that go through like a magic tree door, and they go into fantasy animal land where everybody's an animal, an anthropomorphized animal sort of a situation. And there's like a magic cat. I don't know. Anyways, they're cute, but Clark realized that she can read them herself now and was like, holy shit. So we got three magic animal books, and we got 3 of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books that she hasn't read before. I realized that on the back of those, it says they're for ages 9 and up. I've read a decent amount of these books myself, like along with her, or she's read a lot of it out loud to me. And I was like, I don't know what in these books isn't appropriate for kids under 9. I have yet to see anything in these books that isn't, I don't know. So she asked me what a cannibal was when she was reading part of it. But the context wasn't, I mean, the context of it, we've read poems where they reference cannibals before. So I was like, it's, I don't know. To me, that didn't feel like beyond the scope of my nearly 7-year-old. That's not better. I was like, a cannibal is somebody who eats another human. And she was like, is that legal? And I was like, no. Well, poems have cannibals. There's a Shel Silverstein poem that has a cannibal in it. I don't know. I don't see how talking about cannibalism is bad. You can make cannibalism a horror theme for sure, but just explaining what counts as cannibalism, I don't see as like really a bad thing to talk about with my 6.5-year-old. Because I'm not giving her the context of you're killing a person and then eating them, right? I'm just like, it's if you eat human meat, then that's cannibalism. And no, it's not legal. And it makes people very sick. It's not a good thing to do. So people don't do it. But there is a word for it because we have words for lots of things that people generally don't do or shouldn't be doing. So, and she was like, okay. Cannibalism is occasionally legal, depending. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a note to add on top of that. Yeah, Tully was saying it's probably not that it's like too spooky for a kid under 9, but that the themes are more aimed at like kids 9 and up. Yeah, I could see that. Anyways, fortunately, you know, she talks to me about pretty much everything that goes on in the book and reads a bunch of it out loud to me and stuff. So, anyways, yeah, we don't need to keep talking about cannibalism, guys. But I am bummed that we couldn't get the Jeannie B. Jones books. Mm. Yes, there is new Golden Idol DLC. That is true. That's something we're definitely going to tackle. I also played a little bit more Proverbs. It's, man, that's a very, I highly recommend that. If you like Minesweeper, I think that's a very good, just like chill out game. Like, shut off one part of your brain, turn on another part of your brain. It's sort of a, without us, I did tell you I'd probably play some without you, to be fair. It's so warm in the UK this week. I want to go back to the cold. Oh my gosh. The warm has been so nice, to be honest. Because we got the breeze. So it's not like sweltering. It's just like nice to be outside and do all of the work that we have to do all the time anyway. Yes. We bought a watermelon and ate all of the watermelon, and Clark insisted that we keep the seeds. And I was like, you know what? Sure. So we're going to try to just like chuck the seeds in a flower bed and see what happens. Yeah, my father-in-law's fishing. It's great. Means I don't have an excuse not to do outside chores. That's fair. That is true. Yes, free. That's a great idea. My father-in-law built a pergola for their house. And my mother-in-law was like, you should ask him to make one for you guys too. And I was like, I would love that so much. That would be so great. I'd love that. I haven't been properly fishing since I was a kid, like little kid. And even then, I never caught anything. Um, I would love to learn how to fish. We were talking about this a while back, though, and I was very surprised to find out that you can only catch and release in England. You can't like eat anything that you catch. And there's a part of my brain that that's like, well, what's the point? What's the point? If I'm gonna like traumatize this fish, I might as well eat it, you know? Does the king own all the fish? I don't know what the situation is. I just know you can't fish and then keep the fish. I think we're too scared to ban it outright. Oh, you mean like to just say people can't fish? Yeah, I think that would go badly. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just saying the like, oh, it's a Maya fish. Congratulations. Speaking of fishing. My dad runs a fishing lake, and 90% of the job is just trying to keep otters out of the lake. That's cute. I'm sure it's annoying for your dad, but that's cute. um, my kid's birthday's coming up. Uh, I think I'm gonna try to the like area that we turned into the playroom sort of, you know, thing for her. The stuff that's in there takes up a lot of room and does not get played with for the most part. So one of the things that I really want to do for her birthday is just put like a long table in there up against, we've got like these nice big windows, put a long table in there, and then have like a better system for like organizing her pens and paints and all of that, and basically just give her like a designated like craft area. I think that would do gangbusters. But I'm like, if I wait too long, I'm gonna blink and suddenly it's gonna be her birthday and I won't have done anything. So like I really need to like figure out what I'm gonna do now, I think. Organizing crafting materials is my favorite hobby. The only thing that drives me crazy is organizing everything, and then the second that she uses it, it's all disorganized immediately. But I think there's a way, not a way to like have that not happen, But I think there's a way for things to be a bit more intuitive for her, you know, to have it so that it makes a bit more sense for her, like where things are and where to put things back and all of that. I also saw another parent make a video where they were like, this has completely helped me so much. They have a bag that's just always in the area where their kid does crafts. They have a bag, and anything that like their kid isn't sure about how to put away, they just put in the bag. And then it's like, this is the put this stuff back bag, basically. So, like once a week or whatever, the parent will go look in the bag and put everything away that their kid wasn't sure how to put back. And I was like, the only issue with that is that I'm a doom bagger, right? So I would need to make sure that I actually dealt with that bag. Yes, free. I think that's a huge, so that's one of the reasons. Here's my thought, right? Big window, table, and then just have everything on the table, but like against the window. The issue with that is the heat. I don't think paints should be up there necessarily, but currently a lot where we've got stuff, things kind of bury each other, and we have to like move stuff to get to stuff. And then when you're putting it away, you're just kind of like, whatever, fuck it. Just shove it in there. And if there's a way to have it so everything is reachable, nothing's behind anything else, I think that would be ideal. Because our current system doesn't work. Anytime she's like, where is this thing? And I'm like, I think it's in this spot. I was probably right, but it still took forever to find it, you know? Yeah. So thought process was, I think the most basic version of this would be to get one of those really long tables, like tabletops from IKEA, and then the like 2 shelf things, and use those to hold the table up. Just do 2 of those side by side. And then anything that we don't want out and like in the light or in the sun or whatever can go in the drawers. And then, like pens, pencils, scissors, whatever can just be out and up against the window. So that's the thought. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Sam took Clark to this thing. Basically, a bunch of the parents decided to book a room, like a room at a kids' play place for all the kids as like a treat. So we booked it. And last night we were talking about it, and Sam was like, well, you're not going to go, right? Because you've got a stream. And I was like, well, I was going to cancel or like move the stream, to be honest, because I assumed you'd be sleeping. And he was like, I mean, I can take her. That's no big. I was like, fantastic. Then I'll just stream at my normal time. That would be stupendous. Thank you. So he texted me and was like, we're here. She's playing. It's all good. I do want you to know it's me and 12 moms. So I was like, well, have a lovely time, honey. Yeah. I was like, but think of it this way. All those moms are going to be like, ah, that Sam, what a good dad. Sam's like, so who here has played Monster Hunter Wilds? Yeah. He's like, so guys. Uh No, we do have a mixer on the way now. So now I get to do the fun thing where I have audio problems again while I'm learning how to use the mixer. But it's whatever. Also, as a heads up, my dog's surgery is on Tuesday. It is TPLO surgery, if I recall the acronym correctly, but she's getting plates put in both back knees. She's going to need a lot of help. So I'm basically going to try to recreate my setup in the downstairs of the house so that I can be with her and she can be in the same room as me while I'm working and stuff. I just don't want her to be lonely. So I'm going to be in a different place. I'm going to be in a different area of the house for a couple of weeks at least. No, we've got a mobility sling. It's basically like a big thing like this wide that goes under the belly. This is why they were like, we're not going to spay her at the same time, which I agreed with. And then there's little handles, and you basically like use the handles to like help them get where they need to go to like pee and stuff. But I'm going to ask the doctor, the vet, if I need to like help her pee. I don't really know what is required when neither leg works. But we'll figure it out, you know? Will Geekenders be an hour earlier until we switch to summertime? Yes, I think that is what we did last year, right? Is that how it would work? An hour earlier for me, same time for him? Is that what it is? Okay. You need help. I was wondering how that would work if both legs were operated on. Yeah. You basically like support right in here with something. Because the first couple of weeks is going to be like awful for her. But after that, whether she needs to pee or not, she does need to like move around, get up and move around. So we'll have to help her just like hobble around a little bit, you know. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I know that because Jesse has to get up so early, we operated on Jesse time. Whatever was 8 a.m. for him is when we started. So if that means an hour earlier for me, then that's fine. Yeah. But yeah, her recovery is going to be 4 months long. At least they said in 4 months she should be able to do everything that she's currently doing. First 2 months, she's going to need a lot of help. And starting after 2 months of recovery, she should be able to like go on walks and things. But for 2 months, she can't even attempt to jump, run, any of that. No matter how much she thinks she's fine. So we have to like really limit how much she can do. So I get the feeling that like month 1, she's probably not going to really want to do much of anything. And month 2, she's going to be stir crazy pissed about her whole situation. My mother-in-law was like, we should just fence off a little area of the lawn so she has an area she can walk in, but not so big that she can go crazy, which I think would probably be good. But yeah, I know. Well, talking with the vet, he was like, either option has pros and cons, but like you can just do one leg at a time, but that means she's basically going to be in recovery for 8 months instead of 4. And we were like, she's so young. Like, it sucks. It's going to really suck. But I think we both work from home. We're able to help her with anything she needs. We can adjust stuff so that we're available to her, So I would much rather that she was able to get back to being a puppy in 4 months, But it was one of those situations where the vet was like, there's no right answer. There's no answer that's going to make me think you're a better or worse parent. Like it's, whatever's going to make the most sense. And can you fence in a peach, or can she jump with her supports on? What's funny is she can't really jump over anything. Despite being, a decent sized dog. They are not built for jumping at all. She doesn't try to jump over anything. Just like her mother. That was incredible. That was such a good roast. What the shit? That was really funny. Yeah. All that being said, I wouldn't worry about her jumping over a fence. No. She's had one heat. Yeah. We were told not to reach out about getting her spayed until after she had had a heat. She's had one. And so we had talked about, at the time we thought she was only going to need surgery on one leg. So when we brought her in, it was like, it would be so cool. It'd be tight if we could do one leg and get her spayed at the same time. And that way she's recovering both at the same time. Right. And we won't have to do a future thing. In the end, we have to do a future thing anyway, because they were like, well, you're going to have to do both legs and you're going to need to like yank her up where her uterus is. So, not an ideal time to spay the dog. No. The downside of female pets. Yeah. Fun fact. Uh, the thing that she decided to focus all of her aggressive energy on while she was in heat is our giant Palico pillow. So it's just hers now. At this point, we're like, we don't want it back. We don't want it back. That's yours, Peach. Enjoy. We don't know. Samoyeds grow until they're about a year and a half, but it doesn't feel like she's gotten any bigger in a while. She might be slowing down or generally done. She's not nearly as big as other Sammies that we've met, which I'm fine with. The shedding is crazy right now because it's spring. Oh my God. I'm brushing her every day and getting a ball like about this big of fur. It's buck wild. It's so much hair. The Palico pillow is like the things I've seen. Yeah. Yeah. Now she'll just grow sideways. Yeah, there's going to be, between the sheep and Peachy, so much hair for the birds. Those nests are going to be so comfy. Well, it's funny because, like, I had been brushing her, but basically no hair was coming out. And I was like, why do people complain all the time about Samoyed coats? Like, she's barely shedding. Idiot. Forgetting about seasons, dummy. Bro, the second it was spring, she was like, get it off of me. It's everywhere. I am vacuuming constantly. Anywho, is there anything else? Yeah, the farm animals are okay. Again, we've got like a shit ton of chickens on the property right now that are not ours. But my mother-in-law was like, well, the pigs need to be wormed too, so I might as well just get wormer for the chickens at the same time. I was like, I love that this is our life. The people doing Peachy's legs are also our farm vets. So when I went there, I needed to pay for like our consultation or whatever. I was like, I also need to pick up a sheep antibiotic. They were like, okay. Yeah. There's always some animal on the property that's going through it. Everybody can't just be like having a nice time. Yeah, I ordered the gelatin capsules, so they haven't shown up yet. That's all right. Yeah. Pigs are fine. The sheep are fine. Sheep are getting sheared literally today, right now. So that's fun. It kills me that the type of sheep that we have, their hair is so oily. Because I was really feeling like I was gonna get into cleaning all this wool. Because honestly, it's fun. Honestly, I enjoy it quite a bit. But once you're on wash number like 5 and the hair is still oily, it's like, God. Because the sheep's wool that normally gets used for stuff cleans a bit quicker because, you know, it just winds up with a nicer product. Yeah, somebody was like, "Oh, I just throw it into a pillowcase and then put it in the washing machine." Which apparently is fine for a top loader, but if it's a side loader, it just felts it. So I was like, well, I could try it just to see what happens to it, but I doubt it's going to go super well. I'm going to put a little bit of it in my uh in my seed beds cuz slugs don't like it. And when we put it on top of the soil, too many animals were just taking it. So I was like, if I put it like slightly under the soil, I wonder if it'll still help. I don't know. Can you leave it to soak? Yeah, that's what I do. So I get a huge bucket and I put the wool in there with like crazy hot water and soap, dish soap, like fairy liquid, and leave it in there for like 30 minutes. And then you dump it, you let it dry, and then you do it again. You do that until it doesn't feel oily anymore. And sometimes that takes forever. Do you need to let it dry between? Well, if it's not dry, you can't tell. You can't tell what the consistency is of it unless it's dried. That's all. But yeah. Um we'll see. I would love to find a better use for all that wool because um my sister-in-law's had trouble finding somebody who's willing to buy the uncleaned wool. People are down to buy it if it's clean, but they don't want to buy uncleaned wool, which I get. Um, so even if I could just, I don't even have to card it. Even if we could just clean it, we'd get something out of it, you know? But understandably, nobody's like really jazzed to buy dirty sheep wool that needs to have like all the bits picked out of it and stuff. Apparently, if you're like really crushing at it, Eventually, you know what spots to cut first that are dirty, like spots that get really nasty. Um, get rid of all that stuff and then cut the rest and keep the stuff that hasn't gotten like super nasty. Um, but you know, we're still learning, so it just all gets mixed together. I wonder if pressure cooking it with the detergent would make more of the detergent bind to the oil. That's very interesting. Um, the batch size alone, I don't think would be worth it, but that would be an interesting thing to try just to see. Would it be worth it to buy a top load washer? Not really, I don't think. My sister has a mini top loading washer. It would be really interesting to do some tests. Hold on. Top loading washers are not super common here. None of that's what I want. Yeah, they're tiny ones. Portable top loading washing machines. That's very interesting. I'm very curious about this now. I didn't think about miniature ones, but yeah, there's tons of small ones. Find the top loading washer thing odd because my family felt a lot of wool. Generally, top loaders felt better because they have an agitator in the center and front loaders don't. So, what I was told is front loaders are bad for washing wool because they dunk everything, whereas a top loader just does this. So it's a different, they're both, in both situations, it's getting agitated, but like one is spinning the whole thing around and one is just doing this. I don't know. I much prefer top loaders, but like I said, they're not as common here. They're very common in America. Hear me out. Okay, I'm ready. A butter churn. I don't think a butter churn is big enough. I've only ever seen butter churns like this big. Oh. I don't know. Maybe I'll test some stuff with our side loader. Like a delicate setting or something. It'd be worth trying. Yes, free. Because currently the excess wool just isn't getting used. I can't get through enough of it like on projects, you know? So a lot of it just sits. Teacher proper experiment process. That would be fun, actually. That would be really fun. I wonder if we could, I'm going to look at her homework grid. We might be able to spin it as a homework project. That's a fun idea. Yeah. I'll come up with like 4 different things to try. And then we'll try all of them and talk about what happened differently and all that. Yeah. Like when we would do science fairs, get the board. Yes. I loved doing those because that was the only like arts and craftsy part of the project most of the time for me. So I loved decorating the board. It was so fun. Yes, we did that a lot when I was working in costumes. We talked about how people who work with fabrics a lot will be able to tell different fabrics based on how they burn and how they smell. Um, Obviously, beyond that, but like some fabrics just look so similar to each other that a way to tell for sure, like synthetic fabrics will always burn differently. Um, yeah, it's really fun. You do need a lot of supervision, but it's really fun to just have like a bunch of little pieces of fabric and burn them and be like, can I figure out what this is? It's polyester. I know it, you know? It's fun. I like it. It's like geologists licking rocks. Mm. Also, this is a formal shout out to Afmao. I haven't talked to you in years. I hope that you're doing really well. But I just want you to know that my kid uh, really loves watching Minecraft videos right now. And um, she loves your videos. And yesterday, she was putting her outfit together and was like, this is totally an outfit Afmao would wear. And it was very cute. Has she ever seen Sam's old Minecraft videos? No, but she found out that Sam had collaborated with LD Shadow Lady a couple of times, or was in the same projects as LD Shadow Lady a couple of times. And Clark was like, how far back? Like, how many years back in LD Shadow Lady's videos do I have to go to find Daddy? And I was like, I don't know, honey. Very far, my love. Yeah. Oh my gosh, a community Minecraft server again? Like the ancient times? Well, it's hard because we've stopped telling her when we know people or when we've met people in person before, because with little kids, it's difficult to explain the difference between like, I've met this person versus this person is my friend. So, for me to say, yeah, I've met Afmao a few times. To her, that means I have Afmao's phone number. We were best friends. We used to hang out all the time, right? So like, so it would turn into, can you call her right now? Can you invite her to our house? Like, no, no, I can't. That's not the relationship, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. We were talking about what to do for her birthday. And she basically described a LAN party. It was very cute. She was like, what if I invite my friends over that like to play games, and we can all like bring our things that we like to play games on, and we could set up a table and all of us could just like sit together and play our games. And I was like, you want to have a LAN party birthday? That's so cute. You want to just like hang out and play games together? That's adorable. I love that. Um, yeah. I know. The hard part is that like about half of her friends play video games and half of them don't. So we were like, maybe we should come up with something where you can invite all of your close friends without them feeling like they have no idea what the shit is going on. Just have two parties, problem solved. You know what? Not a bad idea. One of her ideas that I think is so funny is if she had a Sonic themed party, specifically a Shadow the Hedgehog themed party, because she loves Shadow. If she had a Shadow the Hedgehog themed birthday party, and at the end, everyone took a picture together and we secretly photoshopped in pictures of all of the Sonic characters in the picture with us and then sent it to everybody. I love it. These ideas are so funny to me. She's like, yeah, I can like tell my friends to like pretend they're high-fiving somebody, and then we can put, you know, a Sonic character there high-fiving them back. I was like, I love that. My mom would have stations around the house for me and my brother's birthdays when we were younger. And one of the stations was just the Sega station. I think that's cute. I love that. The hard part is part of her wants a party with just like a couple of friends, and part of her wants a party with like her entire class. I'm like, well, we're not doing that, but we don't have to only have like a couple of people. It can be more than that, but we can't do this, right? So what's the mid ground idea? So we'll see. Mod LAN party win. That would be so fun. We had talked about, because remember we wanted to get one of those like big like party tent things. I can't remember what they're called. I originally wanted to get one to build the haunted house in. And I was justifying it in my mind because I was like, there's so many other things we could do with that. One of the things that I was like, we could do with it is birthday parties. And so one of her ideas was a Minecraft themed birthday, of course. I think a lot of kids that play Minecraft eventually land on maybe we just do Minecraft. But because my kid's extra, it was what if we like created an adventure for everyone to go on the farm, and there were like different areas to go to, and you had to do different like activities that were like Minecraft themed. I was like, I love that. That's so much work. That's so much work. I love it, but Jesus, that's so much work. Yeah. It's cute. I was like, what are we going to do? Punch trees? She was like, I don't know. I'm considering doing a Fortnite themed birthday this year and I'm 29. I love that. Do it. But I'm also like second guessing because they're 6 and 7 year olds, right? Not all of the parents are going to be comfortable with the kids getting like Minecraft swords and things. So I'm like, what would we do? What would we do that's like peaceful Minecraft themed, you know? I'll just give them real swords and blocks of dirt. Exactly. They could all get a little terrarium, a little square terrarium. Hold on. Wait a sec. Wait a minute. Decorate your own Minecraft block. Yes. Here we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. No. This is why you always talk about shit out loud, guys. Because one of her other ideas was just like a crafts party, which I was like, that would be fun. What I learned from our last crafts party, though, is that if it's nice enough outside, nobody's going to want to just like sit and do a craft, right? But if there were like three different craft projects that were Minecraft themed or themed around different games that she likes. Maybe it doesn't just have to be Minecraft. I could ask her to like decide on 3 themes. And there would be like a craft for each thing that she likes. Hold on. We're cooking. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I like this. What matters is if she likes it. Don't get married to it. Don't get married to it, Brooke. She might hate it. I'm writing it down. I'm doing it right now. I'm writing it down. Okay, hold on. Maybe no. Well, it's like maybe one is a craft project, one is like an activity. Or all of the craft projects could be the themed things, and then we could just like get, those like massive Connect Four things and stuff like that. Hmm. Draw on the hive mind. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay. Hold on. Good Sonic art project. Because she's mentioned Shadow the Hedgehog a couple of times. So I think she'd like a Sonic something at this party. What would be a good create your OC? Oh my gosh. A creeper pinata is very good. Creeper pinata is very good. That's gotta exist. I'm not making it, but that's gotta be real. That has to exist somewhere. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're good. Actually, there's like multiple DIYs of that, so maybe I will make it. Who knows? They're colors you put onto foil. You can stick them to windows to let through light. My mom used to do the outlines and we would fill in the colors. Okay. And Minecraft art project. Design your own block, like a painting thing. I also love the idea because Clark's really into the idea of terrariums. But making a proper terrarium is difficult, right? One that's like actually sustaining. I'm just gonna write terrarium ? And see if I can workshop that in my brain later. That's what I'm wondering is like if it could just be dirt and then give the kids a bunch of things to like put in that aren't real, that don't actually need to be kept alive, right? Ooh. A hunt could be fun. Yeah. Yeah, use like cardboard or something and just make like tiny versions of things that would be in Minecraft. It could be very cute. It depends how many kids. I think we need to settle on that because depending on the number of kids, some of these ideas are not going to work as well. But if it's just like a small number of kids where we could be like, okay, let's do this activity and now just do whatever you want, you know? Hold on. I'm going to message Sam. I'm brainstorming Clark's birthday. Hedgehog. Okay. I'm asking because he's with her right now. So I was saying maybe on the way home, if you could like ask her if there's any other themes that she would be interested in incorporating into her birthday, you know? Yeah, because it's hard, isn't it? When like you or a kid or whoever, for like, I just can't settle on like one thing. I want more than one thing involved because you know, either I'm stressed out at the idea of picking one or whatever. So I was trying to figure out, okay, if she wants like Minecraft and Sonic and maybe other things as well, and she has a hard time being like, okay, let's just do this, how would I do all of it without it just being a nightmare? Lego would be good. A Lego section would be fun. I think some of these ideas I like, but are ideas that will get abandoned halfway through. Does that make sense? I think for a party situation, the craft has to be something that's like pretty quick to do or something that I don't know. Like a lot of you guys are talking about dioramas. I love a diorama for sure, or like a peep box, like things like that. But I think they do require a bit more involvement, if that makes sense. I think draw your own Sonic OC is very cute. I think that's fun. Um, the terrarium thing, I think, would totally work if you give them a little box that already has dirt in it and there's just stuff to like plonk inside. That can be more involved if they want or not. Oh gosh, forecast gray. I would. I would definitely take it if you're already getting rid of it. Yeah. Bricklink to make a custom set. How involved is that? I'm gonna look. Oh, cute. Oh, what a cute idea. That's adorable. I'm definitely gonna go look at that again. Yeah, I'll brew on this. I'll brew on this a bit. This definitely helped me sort of like see an idea, you know. Mm. I had thought about something like that. Silent irony. They said you could paint some Amazon boxes as Minecraft blocks and then have the kiddos make a fort with the blocks. I had 100% thought about doing that. Yeah, or something similar. I had thought about that, just like having giant blocks for them to build stuff with. Sure, that's a great idea. Yeah, if you could leave it with her, that would be perfect. I can text her and see if she feels comfortable with that. How much time do you have to plan? Um, 2 months. Birthday's end of April. So the rest of this month and basically all of next month. But again, I'm going to blink and it's going to be her birthday. And then I'll be like, so I need to think about it now. Also, since having a kiddo, I've realized how early people are like, can you come to my kid's party? Because birthdays are crazy. People get like booked up for birthdays so quick. I do think definitely less so. I think the older that she gets, the less that's the case. It feels like when she first started school, everybody insisted on inviting everyone in the class to every birthday. And now that they're getting older, I think most of the kids are like, I don't want so-and-so at my party. You know, I don't even like them. So the schedule is a lot more wide open, but people still like to plan way in advance. One of her friends from nursery that we still see sometimes was like, "Hey, are you available to come to a birthday in July?" I was like, "July?" Yeah, sure. Hi, Brett. Yeah, well, they just start, they have like their friends. They want their friends at their birthday. And you're not like friends with everybody, right? When I was a kid, I desperately wanted to be friends with everybody, or at the very least know that everybody liked me. I needed everybody to like me, which I, as an adult now, recognize as like a safety thing, right? Um, I've tried really hard to consistently talk with Clark about the fact that it's totally fine for everybody, not everybody to like her. That is like so okay. And try to place it from the position of like, do you like everybody in your class? No, right? It's fine for not everybody to like you. That's okay. It would be so crazy if we liked everybody. Like, do you have people that you really enjoy spending time with, that you really care about their opinion and like, you know, and you know that they're like a good friend to you? Then you're rich, dude. That's great. You don't need everybody in your class to think that you're like the coolest kid ever. Yeah, well, my kid and I talk all the time. So I knew the answer already, that there were multiple kids in her class that she was like, God, this kid is so annoying. I have a friend who, as an adult, has that issue where it is bizarre. It is so bonkers to watch it happen. But like, she will actively try to make someone dislike her because she's like, I really don't enjoy hanging out with this person, and they always want to talk to me. So I'm trying to be meaner to them, basically. And they love it. She's like, what is this? Like, stop talking to me. Yeah, same. It's so weird. I think that there's a personality type where you can be mean to people and everyone will be like, you. Like, oh, you goofball. And it's like, no, I'm actively trying to make you think I'm mean so that you stop talking to me. It's so funny. There's like a weird charisma there. So for what it's worth, apparently you're a very charismatic person. But like, it's so strange when that happens, especially when you're watching it happen and the person has told you like, I actively am trying to get this person to leave me alone. It's a weird, like, one person lacks self-awareness and one person has an unfortunate amount of charisma, and by their powers combined. uh, yeah, no, for real. This girl was like, oh my gosh, I just love them because they're like so honest. I'm like, they're trying to, I can't get involved. I'm not involved. I can't be involved. It's fine. You guys will figure it out. No, in the end, it had to be neutrality, which I think so often is the case. She realized like the best way for me to like end a relationship with this person is not engaging, right? To just not respond to stuff, to not interact. It's like the only way. Which I find so interesting. Anyways, I can't remember exactly how we got here, but yeah, I am not offended at all with the knowledge that like less and less and less kids are inviting Clark to birthdays. Cause I'm like, that is naturally what winds up happening. The kids will have their group of friends or people that they want to be at their birthday. And that's not always going to be my kid. It's fine, you know. Clark is such a big personality as well. It could be overwhelming for some kids. For sure. Absolutely. She's very like emotion driven extrovert. And yeah, not everybody's going to want that energy at their birthday. But anyway, we need to find the like midpoint of, or determine, depending on the vibe of the birthday, who should be there, you know. Oh yeah. I was like that. There's a Hey Arnold episode about that I think about all the time. I think because I was this kid. I think it was Hey Arnold. There's an episode that's literally about like being totally fine socially, having a bunch of friends, being really like being fine, right? Like everything's fine. And then finding out that some kid doesn't like you very much or doesn't want to hang out or doesn't want to be your friend and just like spiraling about it. And that was me, because it, again, as an adult now, I can look back on this behavior, right, and realize that it was me immediately believing that there was something wrong with me if somebody didn't like me, and being like, if I can create a friendship with this kid, then I'll know it's not me, right? Like, it was fine that a kid didn't like me. But as a child, the irrational reaction to that was something's wrong with me and I need to fix it, or I need to figure out how to like become this kid's friend so that I know that I'm okay, right? And I just don't want my kid to be doing that. I don't want her to be spiraling over somebody not liking her. I want her to be like, okay, and like, because that's how I wish I was able to react. You turned out all right. Thanks. But yeah, I also think that it's really interesting how people approached friendships and social situations as kids versus as adults. It's interesting, like, what we learn through the process of being alive, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? Yeah. Hi, Clover. Yes, 100%. Um, the confidence to just be, to not immediately make it about like what's wrong with me. But yeah. Anywho, I'm just realizing it's like 3:15 here, so I should probably start wrapping up, but yes, that is so true. Sorry. As a last thing, Silent Irony said, making friends as an adult tends less to be about what we have in common and more so the vibes. Like, do we laugh together? Yes. Yes. I was talking about that with some of my friends from LA, because I was like, it's just there. It's not that I haven't found people that I get along with. I can get along with a lot of people. And there are even people that I can have a long conversation with. But like, can I make the joke that I want to make and have it land? Right? Like, do our humor styles match up? Totally. All those questions like that. And for the most part, no. Unfortunately. I don't think it's impossible. I just haven't found it here yet since moving, you know. The closest is probably Telly. I don't know if Telly is still in chat. The closest is probably Telly, but Telly lives like 3.5 hours away from me. If I make this dumb joke, are you going to give me the oof face? Yeah, exactly. Or just like, I don't get the joke, right? We only live an hour and a half away. Oh, free. Free. We haven't spent a whole lot of like in-person time together. I would love to though. I know we've talked about meeting up. I missed my name, but I heard my name, but I missed what was said due to the small human. I hope it was good. We were talking about how making friends as an adult a lot of times is based on vibes. Like, can we laugh together? Can we make a joke together? Sort of a thing, you know? And I was saying probably the closest thing since moving here has been Telly. Because we've wound up spending a lot of time together when you've like done my hair and things. And I was like, but Telly's like 3.5 hours away from me. Turns out I also live like an hour away from a friend I met online when I still lived in the US. Oh, that's nice. It's just a hop, skip, jump, and 3 hours of driving. Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Yeah. I think dating does get harder, like, the older you get. Maybe it tapers off at some point, or gets easier again when you're like really old. I don't know. Those things are so funny. I had a friend who I knew for a while online that turned out to live the next town over. What are the odds? Don't answer that. I feel like I have to, every time I say, what are the odds? I feel like I have to follow it up with, please don't answer. Because there's someone who will jump at the opportunity to do the math. You don't have to. It's okay. You don't have to do the math. Okay, sorry. Let me read off our activity feed because it's about to proc ads anyway. We pushed them back as far as we possibly could. Raid leader's open if anybody wants to grab raid leader and suggest someone for us to go say hi to. But in the meantime, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do the Golden Idol DLC. But my dog is getting surgery. My dog is getting surgery on both of her legs. I won't be here Tuesday because of that. I do plan on being here for our normal stream tomorrow, Monday. But it's kind of touch and go about Wednesday. I think it'll be fine. It really depends on how much Peachy needs. I think she's mostly going to be sleeping and stuff. But we'll have to see what the situation is. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm actually so jazzed about Clark's birthday stuff. Thank you for brainstorming that with me. I think that would be really fun and wind up being really what she's looking for is just like I just want to hang out with my friends and do some crafts themed around stuff that I like and just have a nice time, you know. So yeah, my new bionic dog. Poor baby. Misha Rebo, thank you again for all those gifted subs at the start of stream. That was very sweet. Patience, thank you for the 53. AC Spree for the 7. Light Genie for the 14. Mizu Noise for the 86. Lily Lover for the 10. Dorlugas for the 88. Shay Carrot, thank you for the 11. Poshcat for the 91. Bored Mad Hatter for the 20. Mr. Bite for the 2. Aroboron for the 90. Thank you so much. Doverkeen for the 2. Geek Step for the 118. And Explicit Donut for the 11. Thank you so much. Yeah, my dog's getting what's called TPLO surgery on both legs. She's getting little metal plates put into both of her back legs because the tendons there are destroyed in her knees, basically. So, positive is that she'll get to play without being in pain anymore. Negative is it takes about 4 months for her to fully recover from the surgery. So the beginning's going to be really rough. We'll just see. We'll have to see how it goes, you know. Currently decorating some houses in Sims 4. Let's go. Oh, yeah. I was looking up how to express a dog's bladder because I don't know if that's something I'm going to have to know how to do. Wild. Anyways. Go on then. Go say hi. Spread love and joy. We've got Sunforge tonight if you want to watch us play some D&D. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? I'll text her, Forecast Gray. I can text her. Thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves and well, bye-bye.